Okay, so it's that presentation time of year at school, and it is time to take a little bit of to do a little bit of work, and let's connect Photoshop and Revit together for an easy process in terms of building boards. So what we want to do is start inside of Photoshop first, because that's where we're going to establish our basic parameters. So I'm going to go to New File in Photoshop, New File, there we go, and I'm going to set up a really standard ArcD page, 36 inches wide by 24 inches tall at 300 dpi, and hit create. So this 24 by 36 by 300 dpi, super important parameters to remember as we go into Revit and open our base project. So as I am sending things directly into Photoshop, there's a bunch of different methods to go about doing that. But there's some basic things that we can walk through that we want to get right every single time. So first, in terms of sending plan graphics, one of the things that I like to teach is sending images directly across. I can go to a PDF file. I can do a lot of different things. I can set it up on a 24 by 36 page in Revit first. But a lot of what I find is that we're using Photoshop to actually finish even some design thinking, and it's a great tool to do that. So why not just go ahead and rasterize things directly out of Revit, get them directly into Photoshop as fast as possible. So to do that, what I like to do is go ahead and use my annotation lines to set up a basic bounding box. And to do that, I'm just going to draw with the detail line a box of what I want to export. Always in Revit, we don't want to do any more work than we have to. I'm going to hide any categories I don't want. And if I export this with this bounding box and use current window, it's essentially going to give me this plan at scale if I use the right settings and use this set of detail lines as my bounding box. So from here, I'm going to go to File, Export, scroll down to Image, and I'm going to export this. I'm just going to send this directly to my desktop. And so this would be Welcome Center DU Plan. So that's my title. I want to use current window. I used to often teach visible portion of current window, but the problem with this setting is it does not maintain my architectural scale. So I'm going to use current window. I do not want to use fit to. Again, that is going to wreck my scale. And in architectural design, we want to maintain scale. So I'm going to set this zoom to 100%. I'm a fan of the JPEG file format. They're small, so that makes me happy. So I'm setting both of those to JPEG lossless. And if you recall, we set our Photoshop file up as a 24 by 36 300 dpi. So we need to make sure this also is at 300 dpi. So I'll say OK to that. And it takes only a second to build that image. And now I can go to Photoshop, File, Open. I'll navigate to my desktop and select that plan image. As you can tell, my desktop is a lot. Okay, it's a lot sloppy right now. So let's scroll through here and we will find Welcome Center DU Plan, Open. And then I'm simply going to use my marquee selection tool, grab what I want, edit, copy, edit, paste to start putting those things directly into my board layout. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the same thing with an elevation. So let's go to my west elevation. And let's walk through a few things. So I already have my perimeter outline sort of helping select what I want to send. If I come right to here and look at my graphic display options, there's a few things that I want to make sure that I have set. First of all, I'm going to use this as a hidden line. I need to check smooth lines with anti-aliasing. In particular, any diagonal line that's going to make a dramatic difference rather than seeing it as a series of steps. It's going to smooth that out, make it look a lot nicer. Silhouettes, I set that to wide lines. If it's none, let's just hit apply and OK on that really quickly. We can kind of zoom in and see the effect of wide lines here. Um, graphic display options, silhouettes, wide lines, just gives me that extra little punch of line weight, which is really important. Shadow lines, I usually turn on for an elevation, at the very least cast shadows, just to create some depth around doors, things like that. But down here on my shadows, the default is 60. And so if that's set to 60 and we take a look at what's happening, especially right here at the windows, those will print out almost the exact same shade as my solid ink lines. So what I'm really interested in with my shadows is I want just a hint of detail and depth. So I find that in terms of printing out a graphic, that 20 is a lot nicer. It's a much subtler sort of mode of detail. And then in terms of shadows, there are times where I like to have ambient shadows on as well. It just depends on what you're going for and what you're looking at. But you'll notice I'm going to leave that on. You'll notice that I have this nice sort of ambient shadow here. But as I zoom out, that actually goes away. So it's an interesting thing that Revit's doing. It's not always reliable in terms of what translates back into Photoshop. So I want to show really quickly, I'm going to delete my boundary here, and I'm going to go through the same process and show you why that boundary is kind of a nice thing to have. So I'm going to go File, Export, same process that we did with the floor plan, Image. I'm going to use the same settings, current window, zoom to 100%, lossless JPEGs at 300 dpi, and let's change this to welcome center, elevation, cap locks, elevation, west, and save, and OK. And so without that bounding box, what it's going to export is it's going to find the outer edge of the drawing and create a crop exactly to that. So if I go into Photoshop, File, Open, and let's find that file on my desktop. Let's just go Details and Date, and that should be my file. Yeah, see, it crops exactly on top, and that line should be there, but it's just kind of a pain to work with, in my opinion. So coming in, annotate detail line, and just creating a box that goes around that. Really simple step. And even saying I want a little less of the ground plane. If I do the exact same trick now, File, Export, Image, same settings, current windows. And again, that idea that visible portion of current window should work is there, but it just wrecks the scale, y'all. I don't know why. So let's do the same file format again here. Just add a little suffix of take 2 on that image. And so now when we go to Photoshop, File, Open, we have a different take. We have this little extra space up here. I don't have to sort of rework anything in Photoshop. So again, to move this to my board, Marquee tool, Edit, Copy, and Paste. And if I start looking at those, I know that my scale is being held correctly. These two look correct. So even though I'm working in a raster format and not a vector format, I am maintaining scale from Revit to Photoshop. So the last thing that we might do is look at a perspective. So if I have something like this that I'm ready to send across, to set that up, let's just go ahead and delete a couple of these, build them from new. I'm in my floor plan view. I'm going to come into my house right here and say camera. My first left click places the camera's location. My second left click establishes my field of view, or how far I'm actually seeing. And then I can use these boxes to sort of reframe. Typically, I want to see a lot less ground plane as I'm building this, so I'll usually squinch that up a bit. And I also like a sort of wider, more of a 16:9 kind of ratio on my field of view. Now, this in particular, the resolution of this image is established right here on the size crop tool. So if I select my border on my perspective and go to size crop, you will see that right now this is a 6" 6 3/16 by 3 3/8 of an inch image. To make that a higher resolution image, I need to click scale, and then we are going to increase that. Let's do 12 inches wide. And then I'm just going to left click in the height field to update my height and then say apply. Very little looks like it happens here, but it is increasing the resolution of that image. So then when I come down to graphic display options, I need to walk through that same thing again. In fact, let's zoom in just a pinch so that you can see the modifications that this will make. So first, smooth lines with anti-aliasing. You notice right across here, much crisper, wide lines. I get a little bit of line weight. Once I do that, cast shadows. Make the shadows not quite so dark under lighting. There we go. And then I can even add some things in like sketchy lines if I want to show this as sort of a work in progress kind of piece coming together. Not for right now. I'll have more fun working with this one inside of Photoshop. And so I'm just going to say OK. And then same steps as before. I'm going to go to File, Export, Image, and then we'll export this 100% scale, lossless JPEGs, 300 DPI, and this will be perspective. Save and OK. And as I bring all of these together, File, Open, select all, edit, copy, edit, paste. As I begin to bring these different drawings in together, you can see how I can sort of quickly begin to build graphics inside of Photoshop for a presentation board, even on a project where my Revit file is really nowhere close to being done. But I've got some ideas, and now I'm ready to start adding some materials on. I can start adding entourage, doing all the cool things that Photoshop is good for, which we'll cover in the next video.